We got 2 victims on the scene right now. This is a shooting. We got 2 victims. Let's see, one's been shot multiple times in the torso, probably in his late 20s. Another one's been shot in the extremities, in the lower extremities, and also all throughout his arms and everything several times. And he's probably in his mid-20s.
Ben 10 is stuck in a hospital bed, neck braced tight, body hit up with bullet wounds, and the guy accused of doing it just got grabbed by the feds while heading to a Vlad TV interview. Allstar Jr., real name Jeremy Christopher Ford, got picked up in California, and there's already a criminal complaint saying he's a felon caught with a firearm. Then things got even crazier. The feds released surveillance footage showing him standing over Ben 10 at Confessions restaurant in Houston on April 8th, pointing and firing. Meanwhile, Ben 10 jumped on Instagram, neck brace and all, saying Allstar Jr. is pushing fake narratives. He basically told people to sit and think about it, the same man accused of shooting him. That's where it gets messy. The feds have footage and photos, but the victim is online telling everyone the story being told is false. Nobody is really talking about that angle because most people are running with the idea that Allstar Jr. pulled up, did what he did, and now he's facing the consequences. Legally, that part stands, but Ben 10 isn't giving him any credit at all, not even a little respect, nothing. Ben 10 went online and made it clear he's not backing that version of events, even hinting that if anyone wants the real story, they better pay up because someone out here is selling dreams. This situation is deeper than just shots being fired. It's about control of the story and how things move behind the scenes. Who really gets to control the story? And what's the reason behind it?
3200 Kirby Drive at the Confessions nightclub, just behind me upstairs. It's a bar/restaurant type location. Tonight there was probably, 20, 30 people in there and several servers and everything. Got some pretty good video.
Ben 10 refusing to give Allstar Jr. any credit might be the coldest move in this entire situation. Stay tapped in, because this goes deeper than it looks. No exaggeration. To really understand how things got this messy, you gotta know the people involved. If you're not deep into the culture, some of this might go over your head. NBA Ben 10, whose real name isn't widely out there, isn't just some random associate of NBA YoungBoy. This is someone close, someone who's been around from early on. Ben 10 moves within a tight circle connected to one of the most loyal and protective fan bases in hip-hop. Being tied to YoungBoy's camp comes with a whole system behind it. People who support you heavy, people watching every move you make, and others who might see that connection as a reason to come at you. And that last part really matters here. J Prince Jr., son of J Prince, the well-known CEO and co-founder of Rap-A-Lot Records, is also part of this situation. J Prince Sr. built a reputation that carries serious weight, the kind that makes people think twice before making moves.
They're both transported to local hospitals right now, and they're both in very critical condition. So my name's Lieutenant R. Wilkins, Willkens.
Now J Prince Jr. is building his own path with his mob ties imprint, and reports say he was at Confessions restaurant in Houston on April 8th when everything went sideways. Then you have Allstar Jr., Jeremy Christopher Ford, 32, from Detroit, who built his name alongside T Grizzly, giving him his first real spotlight. Detroit rappers come with a certain image in the streets, tough, direct, and not backing down from anything. Allstar Jr. has always leaned into that energy, heavy. He might not be a huge mainstream name, but in the culture, especially in street circles, his name holds weight. He's not new to this, and definitely not just some random face. This is a grown man who's been around long enough to understand every move he makes. That's what makes this situation feel so complex, because this wasn't just something that happened out of nowhere. This was 3 different worlds crashing into each other. The NBA YoungBoy circle, the J Prince legacy, and the Detroit scene all meeting at one spot in Houston. And that spot being called Confessions, that name alone sounds wild in this context. April 8th, 2026, Confessions Restaurant, Houston, Texas. That's where everything turned upside down. The full story is still being pieced together, both online and by investigators. But some details have started to surface. From what's been reported, it all connects to an alleged situation involving jewelry. Word going around is that 2 individuals tried to take chains, which sparked a confrontation. Things escalated fast, turning into a physical fight in or around the restaurant, and then shots were fired. NBA Ben 10 was seriously injured, and another individual, DeAndre Fields, was also hit. Both were rushed to the hospital in critical condition, turning this whole situation into something way bigger than just an argument. Lieutenant R. Wilkins from Houston PD confirmed right away that an investigation was already moving fast. He made it clear that surveillance footage from the scene would likely be the key to breaking everything open, and he wasn't wrong. Now this is where things take a wild turn, And this part really needs your full attention.
Altercation originally, it appears from what they were doing, was trying to take his chains. Now, we don't know if they knew him or what that was, but it appears possibly they knew this guy, and they were in the process of trying to rip his chains off. That went on for 30 seconds to a minute where these two guys were tussling with him, actually got him to the ground, and appears probably got his chains from him.
Allstar Jr.'s version of events paints a completely different picture. He's been going online saying he was the one who got jumped. According to him, Ben 10 and his people were the aggressors, and he was just defending himself in the moment. That angle matters more than people realize, because if you frame yourself as the victim, everything that comes after starts to look different. The posts, the messages, even the energy he's been putting out can be seen as someone standing tall after surviving something crazy. In that version, he's not the one at fault. He's the one who reacted. That's the narrative Allstar Jr. has been pushing heavy. But then Ben 10 stepped in and flipped the whole thing upside down. From a hospital bed, neck brace on, he jumped on Instagram and said, "Somebody please come pay me for interview." Cause dude's selling them fake act streams and nightmare story. Fake story. That right there changes everything. The person who got seriously hurt is calling the entire story fake. Straight up. Not exaggerated. Not slightly off, but completely made up. That's a serious claim to throw out there. Ben 10 didn't try to offer a different version or soften it at all. He went direct and basically said the story being told is not real. Calling it fake dreams and nightmares hits different when it's coming from someone still recovering in a hospital bed after everything that went down. That's a different level of pressure right there. Now look at what Allstar Jr. did after the shooting, because this is where everything really starts spinning out of control. This is where things begin to fall apart in real time. Before things even settled, before reports were fully processed, Allstar Jr. was already on Instagram showing off. He posted himself at a jewelry store like nothing serious had just happened. Picture that for a second. Right after the incident, he's out buying new jewelry and captions it, "Had to shoot to the D and get new ice, cause my man's Ben 10 took some of my stuff to the hospital with him." Read that carefully. He's claiming Ben 10 ended up with his jewelry and went to the hospital still having it, while he's replacing everything right after. That's the message he decided to put out publicly. Then it got even more intense. In that same post, he wrote, "Thought he was mob eyes till I shot his ass a few times." That's not subtle at all. That's putting everything out there in plain sight. At that point, he's putting his own words on display for everyone to see. No extra digging needed when someone is sharing like that online. And it didn't stop there. He went on to promote something called the Ben 10 Challenge, offering $20,000 to anyone who would act out a scene pretending to be injured on the ground. He even pushed it on No Jumper to get more attention. Offering money for something like that while someone is still recovering takes the situation to a whole different place, and it only added more eyes and reactions to everything already unfolding. He didn't stop at posts either. Allstar Jr. dropped a diss track called Mob Untied, and it was aimed straight at J Prince Jr. and Ben 10. He went directly at J Prince Jr., even calling him out and questioning him publicly with lines like, "J Prince Jr., damn, nah, are you still running up Kirby?" That's a bold statement, basically putting it out there that someone tied to a powerful name in Houston allegedly left the scene. Then he doubled down with visuals. The music video for Expensive Wristwatch, which he was promoting at the same time, actually opened up with narration about Houston robbery stats. Think about that for a second. He turned a real-life situation involving injuries and chaos into a full content rollout. The incident, the aftermath, the tension, all of it started looking like part of a bigger promo move. It wasn't just music anymore. It felt like a whole storyline being pushed out to the public. But here's where things really get serious. This is the key reason Ben 10 isn't giving him any kind of credit. Allstar Jr. wasn't just reacting. He was building an image around himself. He was shaping a narrative where he looked like the one who stepped up, handled business, walked away untouched, replaced his jewelry, and then went on to capitalize off the moment. He wanted that recognition. He wanted people talking about him like he was the one in control of everything that happened. But Ben 10 came in and shut that down completely. From his perspective, that whole story being pushed isn't real. He's calling it fiction, straight up. And that right there is what people are overlooking, because it shifts the entire conversation. When Allstar Jr. first started posting all the jewelry pictures, captions, and that challenge, Ben 10 didn't jump online right away. He stayed quiet. He was in the hospital, dealing with recovery, neck brace on, while everything else was playing out online. And that silence, that made the moment even heavier, because while one side was loud and visible, the other side was watching, waiting, and clearly not agreeing with anything being said. When Ben 10 finally broke his silence, he didn't come in loud or reckless. He didn't even address Allstar Jr. directly. Instead, he posted, "Getting shot and tripping." We serve two different gods. Must be. My father told me my testimony already. Life support has never been an option. That's not a diss. That's someone grounding himself in faith and survival. He didn't give Allstar Jr. the back and forth that was clearly being pushed for. No response to the challenge, no threats, no "I'm coming back" talk. He kept it focused on staying alive and standing strong. That kind of response shifts the energy completely. Meanwhile, Allstar Jr. kept pushing. He responded by doubling down on the challenge, even raising the money to pull a reaction. Well, if the bet's so back, tell him to do the Ben 10 and I'll double it. That right there shows he wanted attention. He wanted engagement. But Ben 10 didn't bite. He stayed out of that lane completely. Then things moved into private messages, and somehow those got exposed too. On April 20th, Allstar Jr. shared DMs between them, showing what was happening behind the scenes. According to those messages, Ben 10 actually reached out, trying to communicate directly. Allstar Jr.'s response? He brushed off any real conversation and kept redirecting everything back to the challenge. "I ain't trying to talk. Send me that challenge," he wrote. That says a lot about where his focus was. Ben 10 pushed back in those messages too, especially about the claims being made. When Allstar Jr. mocked him and said he was in the hospital full of bullets, Ben 10 fired back, "You pick up. I ain't full of no bullets." Even in private, he was rejecting that version of events. So this wasn't just something for social media. Ben 10 stayed consistent the whole time. Publicly and privately, he kept saying the same thing, that the story being told about him isn't real. And that's when he went public again, making it clear that if anyone wants his side, they need to come correct and pay for that interview, because he's not letting someone else control the narrative without a fight. Because in his eyes, JR is out here pushing fake dreams and nightmares. Ben 10 wants full control over his own story. He's not about to let Allstar Jr. write the narrative of what happened to him. And he's definitely not trying to be some trophy in somebody else's victory moment. That's cold, that's calculated, and depending on how you see it, that might be the smartest move he's made this whole time. Now here's where everything turns all the way up. Everything we just talked about, the shooting, the posts, the tension, it all hits another level once the arrest happens. Allstar Jr. was reportedly on his way to do a Vlad TV interview in California when he got picked up by the feds. Think about that timing. After all the Instagram posts, the diss tracks, the challenges, even leaking DMs, he was heading to sit down and speak on everything publicly, whether that was planned or just bad timing. He never even made it through the door as a free man. The internet went wild over that Vlad TV connection too. There's been jokes floating around for years, people saying Vlad is somehow tied in with law enforcement. Now to be clear, there's no proof backing that up at all. Nothing verified linking Vlad TV to anything like that. But still, the timing had people talking heavy. Getting arrested on the way to that exact interview, that had social media going crazy, and the memes basically made themselves. But jokes aside, the real focus should be on what the authorities actually have, because that's what really matters here. DJ Academics even shared a federal surveillance image from inside Confessions restaurant, and that right there starts to paint a much clearer picture of what investigators are working with behind the scenes. The image tells a serious story. The photo shows Allstar Jr., Jeremy Christopher Ford, standing over NBA Ben 10. Ben 10's face is blurred in the version released, but Jr.'s face is clearly visible in another frame. In the first image, he can be seen pointing and allegedly firing a weapon. That's not just talk anymore. That's visual evidence being put out there. The feds move forward with a criminal complaint against Jeremy Christopher Ford, charging him with being a felon in possession of a firearm. And that detail matters a lot. The charge is tied specifically to on or around April 8th in the Southern District of Texas, the same time and place as the shooting. Now here's the key part. As of now, the charge isn't directly for the shooting itself. The firearm possession alone is a federal offense. But when there's an image showing him standing over someone with what looks like a weapon, that adds a whole different layer to the situation. Then you stack that with everything posted online, the captions, the claims, the energy he was putting out. When someone with prior convictions is posting like that, and then authorities release images that seem to match those claims, it creates serious problems. At that point, it's not just about what happened, it's about what can be proven and what's been said publicly. That kind of exposure can turn into a major issue fast. This is what moving reckless online can turn into. Treating social media like it's just entertainment, while serious situations are unfolding, can come back heavy, especially when there are legal consequences tied to it. Now this is where everything connects back to the bigger picture, because this isn't just about an arrest. This is about why Ben 10 is refusing on purpose to give Allstar Jr. the credit he's been chasing the whole time. Think about it. Allstar Jr.'s entire image after the incident depends on people believing he stepped up and did something. That narrative only works if people accept his version of events, and Ben 10 is standing firmly against that every step of the way. An NBA YoungBoy affiliate in Houston handled business and walked away clean. That's the image being pushed. That's the mythology. But for that story to actually stick, two things have to happen. The internet has to believe it, and the person involved can't shut it down. Ben 10 did the exact opposite. He denied it loud, clear, and publicly, calling it a fake dreams and nightmare story. That kind of response hits hard because it directly challenges everything being said. There are layers to why this matters so much. First off, if Allstar Jr.'s version is false or even stretched, then everything built on top of it starts falling apart. The challenge, the diss track, the jewelry posts, all of it depends on that one story being real. If the foundation isn't solid, none of those moves carry the weight they were supposed to. You can't run with a narrative if the person involved is still here shutting it down in real time. Second, by calling it fake, Ben 10 is basically saying things didn't go how they're being told, or didn't happen the way it's being claimed. That puts everything Allstar Jr. did into question. The taunts, the music, the online moves. It starts to look more like performance than reality. And in street culture, putting on an image that doesn't match reality can damage your name fast. That's not something people overlook. Now here's the deeper layer. By refusing to give any credit, while also not fully explaining his own version, Ben 10 keeps control of the full story. He already said he wants to be paid for an interview because he has the real details. That's leverage. He's holding the other side of the story and making it clear that if people want it, they have to come to him. Allstar Jr. tried to position himself as the one telling the story, but Ben 10 stepped in and took that control away. And now, with Jr. in federal custody, Ben 10 has the time and space to move how he wants without rushing anything. He might be in a neck brace, but don't get it twisted. He's the one holding the leverage right now. The same person who was being mocked weeks ago is now watching everything flip, while the one doing all the talking is sitting in a cell. And that story that was being pushed, now it's running into federal images that don't leave much room to play with reality. But we can't ignore J. Prince Jr. in all this, because his name adds a whole different level to the situation. Allstar Jr. didn't hold back at all when it came to him. He went straight at J. Prince Jr., calling him out, questioning him, even claiming he ran from the scene. That's a bold move, especially in Houston. The Prince name carries serious weight, and that reputation wasn't built on weak moves. J. Prince Sr. didn't create Rap-A-Lot Records by backing down, and people know that. J. Prince Jr. responded. But his approach was completely different. He denied the claims, stayed calm, and made it clear where he stood. He even said he wouldn't harm a child and referred to Allstar Jr. in a surprisingly light tone, saying, "That boy loves him." At the same time, he told people to stick to the truth and wished Ben 10 and the other injured person a fast recovery. Now look at the contrast. One side was loud, aggressive, and pushing non-stop online. The other side stayed controlled, speaking carefully and protecting their name without all the noise. That difference matters. J. Prince Jr. understands how things move. You don't always have to be loud to make an impact. And then there's the bigger picture. When you go at someone tied to NBA YoungBoy's circle, you're not just dealing with one person. That connection comes with a whole network, supporters, affiliates, and people paying attention to every move. That kind of situation can grow fast, and once it does, it's not easy to contain. Allstar Jr. looked like he was ready for all the smoke publicly. But the real question is, was he actually ready for everything that comes with it? The legal pressure, the street consequences, all of it combined. And based on how things played out, it's not looking like he was. Right now, Jeremy Christopher Ford, known as Allstar Jr., is sitting in federal custody, and that alone shifts everything. That felon in possession charge is no small situation. Federal gun charges can come with serious time, and in many cases, there's no easy way around that. And if investigators connect everything fully to what happened on April 8th, which already lines up by time and location, this could turn into something much bigger than just possession. The situation gets even heavier when you look at what's already out there. Federal images placing him at the scene, appearing to fire a weapon. Then you add in his own social media posts, where he basically put his version of events out for everyone to see. And it doesn't stop there. The messages he shared himself, the captions, the claims, all of that becomes part of the bigger picture. It's like he laid everything out publicly. And now, that same trail is being used against him. Those posts talking about shooting and taking chains, those aren't just posts anymore, they could be used as evidence. Meanwhile, Ben 10 is on a completely different path. He's recovering, even showing moments on FaceTime with his neck brace, smiling and letting people know he's still here, and he hasn't changed his stance. He's still calling the whole narrative fake, still holding on to his version of the story and waiting to tell it when he decides. But here's the key shift. With Allstar Jr. now locked up, all that pressure on Ben 10 to respond, react, or escalate, it's gone. The system is handling things now. He doesn't have to go back and forth, doesn't have to prove anything online. And that right there, that's a position of control that came from the other side doing way too much and putting everything out in the open. J. Prince Jr. is still moving freely, name solid, reputation protected, and he never took the bait. While everything else was loud and chaotic, he stayed measured and didn't get pulled into the back and forth. On the other side, Allstar Jr. put everything out there. And when it comes to the Prince family, they've handled situations like this before. This isn't new territory for them, and they know how to move through moments like this without losing control. Now that Vlad TV conversation, it's not slowing down anytime soon. Every time someone gets arrested around an interview with that platform, people start talking again. Whether there's any truth to those claims is a whole different discussion, but the perception keeps growing. And in this situation, that timing added even more fuel to the conversation. But here's something that really matters. Allstar Jr.'s music, tracks like Expensive Wristwatch and Mob Untied, they're not just songs anymore. They can be looked at as reflections of his mindset during everything that was happening. In legal situations, lyrics and posts can come back in ways people don't expect. When everything lines up, timing, content, and real-life events, it creates a bigger picture that can be hard to ignore. Building a whole content wave around something this serious, that's a risky move every time, especially now when cameras are everywhere and nothing online really disappears. Now step back and look at the bigger lesson here. This situation shows how street culture, social media, music, and the legal system are all colliding in real time. A lot of people move like posting online is the same as moving in real life, like attention equals respect or visibility equals credibility. But that's where things get dangerous, because in real street rules, things don't move like that. You don't broadcast every move, you don't turn it into a challenge, and you definitely don't document it step by step online. That code has always been simple. If you move quietly. What happened here? It looked like real-life actions getting turned into a performance for an audience. And once that line gets crossed, everything can spiral fast. He took a real-life situation, something involving actual gunfire and hospital visits, and turned it into content. It wasn't just music, it became a full rollout, mixing tracks, online posts, and taunts like it was all part of one strategy. And in the end, that same online trail became something authorities could follow step by step. Now here's the real reason Ben 10 isn't giving him any credit. And this is the part that really matters. In street culture, credit comes from respect, not from performance. Allstar Jr. was pushing hard to be seen a certain way, but Ben 10 refusing to acknowledge that version at all says everything. Even from a hospital bed, he's rejecting the narrative completely. That alone sends a message about how he views the situation and the credibility behind it. Someone who truly holds weight doesn't need to build their name through constant online moves. No need for challenges, no need for diss tracks, no need to put private conversations out there. Ben 10 staying mostly quiet, calling the story fake and choosing his moment to speak, that shows a different kind of control. It's not loud, it's not flashy, but it carries impact. Allstar Jr. wanted reactions from everywhere. He wanted a response from Ben 10, from NBA Youngboy's Circle, from J. Prince Jr. He wanted that back and forth to keep things alive, but it didn't happen the way he expected. Instead of going back and forth online, things shifted in a completely different direction. And this is the lesson that keeps coming back again and again. Moving recklessly online while serious situations are unfolding can bring consequences fast, especially when everything is being watched, recorded, and saved. Because by the time anything gets posted, there may already be footage, reports, and investigations in motion. And once those pieces line up, it's not just a story anymore. It becomes something much more serious. Before the first diss track even dropped, that criminal complaint was already being put together. While Allstar Jr. was standing in that jewelry store, posing for Instagram like he was building a legacy, something else was happening behind the scenes. He thought he was creating a moment, but in reality, he was stacking up a case against himself. Now here's where everything stands. Allstar Jr. is facing federal charges right now. The feds have images, and on top of that, he's got his own posts, captions, and messages all working against him. Everything he shared after the shooting, that social media trail could be used piece by piece. And on top of all that, he was on the way to a Vlad TV interview when everything caught up to him. Meanwhile, Ben 10 is still here, recovering, neck brace on, and not letting anyone control his story. He already called the whole narrative fake, and he's made it clear he's speaking on his own terms only. He hasn't given Allstar Jr. any credit, not even a little, and that move stands out. Whether his version is fully accurate or not, that's something the investigation will sort out. But one thing is clear, he's not playing into that image that was being pushed, because the easiest route would have been to acknowledge it, give some level of recognition and move on. But he didn't do that. He shut the whole thing down and said the story being told isn't real. That's a strong position to take. J. Prince Jr. came through this situation with his name still solid. Allstar Jr. built a whole wave of content around something serious and got stopped before he could even sit down and talk about it. And Ben 10, he's in recovery, but still holding control over how his story gets told. The streets are watching, the legal side is moving, and the internet already saved everything. This situation is far from over. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you think Ben 10's fake narrative claim holds weight, or did Allstar Jr. create his own downfall? Make sure you like, subscribe, share, and stay locked in for more breakdowns coming just like this.